that when I gave that prophecy that MPP would win the election, National Security was investigating me. Because I have people who know me at National Security that says that my file has come. Because I gave a prophecy that they will lose. Cars were following me. If you know this guy called Asamoah Gyan, advise him to look for a man of God to pray for him. Because I see him in a coffin. I see Joe Biden in a coffin. I see Obasanjo in a coffin. All of them, they are in coffin. Then I see another one in Ghana, coffin.
All right, abusia making komo our comment section ho na prophetic updates prophet Eric Parsley what they are mine I share with you. Inti share link no na subscribe or so you new to the platform we share na could do more some more empire more some young juma now some on the way forward. K-Lover Media, Lovers TV Africa. Me pacho me
And an inevitable part of life, function of time. And because our lives are situated within time, one of the things we need is recovery. Look at your neighbor, say recovery. The Bible is a book of recovery. When you look from Genesis to Revelation, it is a book of recovery. Depending on the lens by which you look at the Bible. So the Bible is a book of recovery. Ladies and gentlemen, to recover or to recover is an epic center of the gospel. It's an epic center of the gospel. What do I mean by that? When Jesus came, he said, I have come to give you life, and I've come to give you life more abundantly. But before he said that, he said the devil cometh to steal, cometh not but to steal, to kill, and to destroy. So, in other words, my coming is for a recovery of something the devil has stolen, something the devil has killed, and something the devil has destroyed. I have come to give you life. It didn't mean that you didn't have life initially. I have come to give you life didn't mean that you didn't have a life initially. What it meant is that life that you had has been tempered with. So I have come for recovery. Somebody say recovery. And recovery is an absolute possibility with God. It's an absolute possibility with God. So, absolute recovery is an absolute possibility with God. There is nothing about your life that cannot be recovered. That brings me to my next point. There is nothing too lost that cannot be found or that cannot be recovered. There is nothing too lost. If absolute recovery is a possibility with God, it means that there is nothing that gets missing or gets lost that God cannot recover or that cannot be recovered. Because if it is a possibility with God, it also means that it can be done. For with men it is impossible. But with God, all things, including your things, are possible. So everything is recoverable, if there is an English word like that. It's only in Ghana when they steal money they can't recover. But when it comes to the kingdom, anything the devil steals, it can be recovered. And anything that is missing in your life, or anything that has been stolen in your life, exists somewhere. Life does not operate in a vacuum. Okay? Life. Now, if you know this guy, I think I said this thing at Adenta. If you know this guy called Asamoah Gyan, advise him to look for a man of God to pray for him. Because I see him in a coffin. I see Joe Biden in a coffin. I see Obasanjo in a coffin. All of them, they are in coffin. Then I see another one in Ghana, coffin. You know Hotel Wawa. Okay. When I tell you things before they happen. So that guy, Asamoah Gyan's own is my problem. That guy. Because I had a vision where people were saying he had mental problem. Like he has. You see, there is a way you will not be mad on the street. But the way you are talking around, and you put camera on yourself, people will say you have a mental breakdown. And the next thing that happens is that you are in a coffin. That's why prophets will be relevant any day, any time. Any day. This is not football. This is not Manchester and Chelsea. We are telling you something that will happen before time. Are you here? So if he's your friend, I know some of you are angry with him because of the penalty. I'm sure some of you, God has recovered you. Hands have been laid on you and you have recovered. Okay? If you know him, talk to him. That's the same way I spoke about the vice president, the lady. I spoke about it like that. One day I was at a service. They said her relatives, have come to see me. I was at this service. I didn't give them my office or anything. They sat here and I prayed a simple prayer. She's working now. So if you know him, tell him to look for a man of God. Because all these guys are the people who say men of God are fake. I'm not saying he should come to me because I have too many people coming to me. I don't have time. So I'm not asking him to come to me. He should go and look for the person he believes in. And believing in somebody does not mean that the person can cancel it. There are people who don't have the spiritual capacity. Their build up is not to that level. So what is fighting you, if it is greater than the person you go to, the person will speak and the thing will not be cancelled. That is why there are even prophets who can tell you where you come from, which hole you are from, which the color of your bed sheet. But they say, I cancel it and the thing will not be cancelled. Because they are any wukunu esunche omu. They are all sharing come no adianu sunche onu. He has not built capacity. Are you here? There is a way I can be ministering and there is a problem. The way Reverend Eastwood will pray and the problem will be addressed. If I attempt, it will not happen. So when I'm prophesying, it's not everything I say. So you need to build capacity to a particular level. Somebody say capacity. You need to build capacity to a particular level. One day I was preaching somewhere. I saw a man, businessman. In the night he turns to a snake. That's the source of his money. It was not in Ghana. It was outside Ghana. And I think that the pastor has also perceived that is the kind of person the man is. And I look at the man, and the pastor, when we close the service, he said, Prophet, I saw you that you look at that man. What did you see? I laugh. I said, sir, what you know is what I saw. But I didn't come here to come and do, get out, get there. I don't have time. He's your church member. Sikana Oma won't maybe. So carry your cross. And Ghana should pray. There are 3 countries. They should pray about plane crash again. Now look, listen to me. The day I gave the prophecy about plane crash, I mentioned specific nations. And one of the nations I mentioned was India. Now it has happened already. Ghana should pray against plane crash. I repeat. You can insult me online. But I'll tell you the mind of God. You like, take. You don't like, go and sleep. Ghana should pray. There are 3 countries: Ghana, Nigeria, America. They should pray against plane crash. And the flooding that happened in America is nothing compared to what is about to happen in America. What is about to happen in America is deeper. It's more serious. I've given you a prophecy already that another lockdown is coming. How many of you remember? I started prophesying it about 2 years ago that another lockdown is coming. We are almost there. So start greeting your boyfriend by the roadside by now. Because very soon they will lock the 2 of you down. You know, somebody asked me, MPP presidential. I made a comment about the MPP presidential seat. Okay? I'm not changing my comment. But we are all in this country. We are all in this country. Okay? When we are in this country, we will see what will happen. There are men and there are men. There are men without political suit. But the seat is theirs. What was I saying? You see, as I'm talking now, the Lord has carried me to FIFA. As I'm talking, as I'm preaching, I have left this place. I am in FIFA headquarters. And I see that they have written World Cup, and I see a pen pass through it. You know, people watch me to copy what I say. You know that. And then I hear bloggers pick me. When I gave the prophecy about the election, so what some of you don't know is that when I gave that prophecy that MPP would win the election, National Security was investigating me. Because I have people who know me at National Security. That says that my file has come. Because I gave a prophecy that they will lose. Cars were following me. And I still stood by my prophecy. Anything I say, I stand by it. I bet Danny, I remember I can catch yourself about Danny. See, God cannot be taken for a fool in this country. All the people who start leading this country are people that will do this country good. Because the things God is blessing this country with, the things that will be discovered about this country, even the natural minerals, the quantity. There was one time I was bathing. I had a vision. I was bathing, and when I turned on the shower was not water, but the shower was liquid gold. This country is very blessed. What we need is the right leaders. And this country will prosper. Look at this country and say, this country will prosper. And I'm very happy what Donald Trump has done. Those who don't have U.S. passports now, you go to the U.S., it's only 3 months. I'm so happy, yeah? Because now you can't run away from this country. We'll all be inside. Even people who have US passport will all be inside. You can't run away anywhere. You go to Germany, you'll be grounded. You will all be inside here. Who will you leave to suffer? Huh? We'll all be inside. There is nothing about you that cannot be recovered. Nothing. Nothing is too lost to be recovered.
All right. Ebusia, ade ba kwese wo share nso no say Kilova Media platform yiso. Enye se be ma prophecy nko an ye be sam wetie nyame asama ka ho. Etimi ye sure say message kakran so attach it to the prophecy no ubenya mfaso so e de afrim. Me di nkomo comment section honom man nkomo ne honte when it your roots no. Ukaseti odifu bi a yan delete o message na ya block you. Kilova Media Lovers TV Africa, may and grow this platform. Thanks for watching.